So guys, so lots of stuff to do, but first I need to put up a strand of electric to keep my buck off that middle separation, I guess, the fence, because anytime a doe's in heat, especially if it's his own kids, you don't want the buck getting through that, putting pressure on that fence. It's not the strongest fence in the world, but we don't want him testing it out and or getting crazy, because I don't know if you guys know what animals do when it's that time of year. Deer season, the rut. Everybody talks about the rut. Basically, it makes bucks stupid. It's the best time to hunt them because they are stupid. They'll run right to you, and that's the only thing on their mind. They forget about everything else, and it's the same with goats. So they will, especially with these Kiko goats, they're very strong. He's a heavy goat, and he could do some damage, and not only to the fence, but I don't want him hurting himself trying to jump it or something like that. So what I'm going to do is, in the bull, the steer, he's getting a little playful in his age. So what I want to do is I'm going to run a single strand near the top of that fence and straight across to basically the road, and I might run it on both sides. I don't know, probably just the one side, but it's going to keep him off of that fence when these does are in heat. Eventually they're all going to get moved, shuffled around, and we want to just keep them separated when we need to, and then when it's time to breed them, we'll keep them in there for a couple months. We'll keep them together. So for now, that's what we're doing. I got the air compressor fired up. I need to put some air in that leaky tire on my tractor, and then I'm going to go out there and get it done. Here's what we have. We have a end, so we need to make something that the wire will go on, and then we have a gate. We're going to screw something into this wood post, and we'll set it like right here near the top part, and then we'll run that all the way across straight, and that way it staggers up, but we'll keep it along right here and over. I'm zoomed in too much, so yeah, it'll be lower on this side, the high down here all the way across, and then right here we will have an eye lag bolt that will attach the wire to, and then along each one of these T-posts will have a clip that goes on it that extends out, and that wire it'll be a guide for the wire, and then each side will have a ratchet that will strand the wire through, and then the gate part we're going to put a stretchy type fence that's conductive, and it will jump the electricity over to this side, and then keeping, even though this is pretty secure now, it'll keep them off of that too. And then anytime I want to come in, I'll just hit the button on the solar charger. Same thing on this side, just longer. We'll take it all the way to the chain link along this top part right here. So that's what we got going on. So the tools that we're going to use are a driver for the T-post. These are the clips that are going to go on the T-post. T-post reverse 5-inch extender insulator. Now the reason why I got the extender was when I was in the store, I didn't realize how far this post was going to be sticking out from the actual T-post. So I wanted to make sure that it was extended out enough where I wasn't going to be rubbing. So the wire will just strand through the end of that. And then we got some wire cutters that we'll use to cut the wire. And the wire, we have some 14 gauge steel wire, but it's galvanized. I think we're going to use this for the donut insulators that we're going to use on the ends. We'll use it to go through the middle, and we're probably going to, haven't decided yet. I don't even think I have the clips for this poly wire, so yeah, we might just do steel wire this time around. And then we have the ratchet, the line tightener, I guess, and that's going to keep that line taut. And this part right here, electric gate kit, this will go across the gate and it'll jump it. And then whenever it's got a little handle here, you just kind of, it's a bungee sort of. So we're going to keep it simple and see how fast this goes. Yeah, I'm not sure if I got any of that or not, but I just put a little insulator on here. Now we're going to use these clips. These will go on the T-post, and the wire will string through the end of it. So let's see if I can get this on here. On it right here. Hopefully this one won't be that. That's all it is. Simple as that. So when we run the wire, it'll go around, and see how this slides. We'll keep that right there. The wire will come through, and we'll hit one of these on every T-post, and it'll just help as a guide. Didn't bring a drill, so I'm just gonna, not a huge lag bolt, but we'll get it in there with our hand. Not worried about this post splitting, so get in there to the thread stop. We'll have that aimed this way. One more. It's a pretty straight line. Basically, we're gonna take this eye. We're gonna connect the wire. We're gonna run it through these guides, and it's gonna go down to that insulator right there. And that's gonna work. I clip the wire, and we're going to I just bent it. I didn't wrap it or nothing yet. You see how this one already. This one already slid. Pop that up. And let's start stringing this. I'll try to do it. Can't do it with one hand. Because there's already tension on it. See, now I'm not going to get it too tight because I have that angle on there. The other thing I could do is I could run a wire from this down to this and then kind of wire that one this way, but that should work. And then we'll keep running to this guide. Not really liking it, but we'll see, man. I might pull that up and do what I said. We'll see what happens right here. Now we're gonna start wrapping this. So that little bend right there will just, it's enough to keep it tight where I need it, and then I just start wrapping. Not a ton of tension on this, so we don't have to worry about this unwinding. And then I'm basically just going to trim them off here. Actually, there's a little bar. Now we have the gate, a little latch right there. We're going to throw this lag bolt on the other side, keeping it in line with that top of that fence. Doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of have it in the middle, and we'll stick it right there or right here. Let's see, stick it right here. Thing about it is you got to know I'm going to reach over to undo this, so I might want to just stick it right here. Let's try it. I got the steer locked up because he can't do anything with him around. He tries to get into everything, pull stuff off the tractor, and then if you turn your back on him, he'll try to mount you. So, we don't want none of that. Now we got this. And it's pretty loose for now. We've got this adjuster over here. So you're supposed to be able to extend it up to 20 feet. I don't need 20, I need 10. That's how it's going to be. It's keeping this off of everything, so there's a nice gap. It shouldn't. If they push into this part, they're going to get zapped. The only way around it is if they were to push this, which still isn't going to do anything. It should still be safe. So now, that was pretty quick. Now we're going to do the other side the same way. We just have more posts to do. Alright guys, so I finished it pretty fast. I didn't use any T-post, not enough tension on it. I don't think I needed it, but as you can see, a little tension on that one, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. The donut insulator, it keeps the wire from touching this part. Then you got the guides. And every white or yellow extender is a guide to this eye, which lag bolts into here. It's another donut insulator. Gate all the way down. It's the same old thing. You notice one of these extenders was a little weak. This one right here kind of popped off, but not a lot of tension. I think that'll work. All you need to do is open that solar charger. Getting warm out here. Okay. So I had accidentally hit the bucket on I was cleaning up a little bit of that hay that they messed up on the ground, raking it up. I was dumping it in this empty stall on the dirt. Well, I hit the panel with my bucket and lifted it up, so I had to wire some stuff down for now, because that's only temporary too. But we need to get that solar panel. So I have this battery. This is the battery that comes with your Premier one. Solar chargers. They don't sell these at AutoZone or O'Reilly's, and they don't sell them at Tractor Supply. So there is an Interstate battery place here. I think you have to have a dealer's license, which I do have a buddy that has a dealer license. But my problem is it's Interstate battery. I don't know if they just do a swap out or not. I can call them and ask them, but both those chargers stopped working. I have a feeling it's the batteries, not the panel. We're in Southwest Arizona, and these are, I mean, we get 300 plus days a year of sunshine. Every day sunny. We had, I think, 3 days this entire, like last year, that rained. So we have plenty of sun. So that's not it. I think those batteries are toast. But when I put them on this trickle charger, it says they're charged up, and I use whatever thing I have, voltometer or whatever. That says it's charged. So I'm pretty confused on why this is doing this. All right, so I'm going to clean this up with some wire wheel or grinding wheel, because this is what your ground goes into. And there's a lot of dirt inside it, so I pulled the battery tray out. We'll see if that has anything to do with it. So there's another option too, if this doesn't work. They do come with a plug-in for AC, so I could run an extension cord out there, but then you got a cord running across. But I have to grab another wire off the other solar panel. They think that that's charged, so let's see. This panel, I cleaned it up. I wire brushed the the ground stake part of it. Got all the dirt out of it. Battery says it's charged. I mean, the trickle charger says that battery's charged. So we'll see if this works. I'm gonna go over here, grab this wire, and then we'll go to the front, get this thing put in the ground, and hope it comes to life. Just gonna undo the ground. Like that. And I know it's the power color, but it's the ground. Then we'll go over here. Yeah, when the does go into heat, they know where that buck is because he's putting off odor. You can tell a lot of his odor is over by the fence. And they'll rub and tease them and everything, so that's what they do. And we can't have that happening, not right now, and not with the buck we have. You don't need to be doing any line breeding. I know there's people that do it, whatever they, it's a thing. If you like certain traits, I guess there's a thing that people do, but I wouldn't imagine you do it too often. My thing is, I wish I had one of the ones that go on the, if I had a grounding rod, I wouldn't mind having one that actually goes up top of the post. Now, I take this. What you do is you're going to grab your ground, put it there, get your wire out, and this screw has a little hole in it. Pop it in, you screw that down with a plastic piece, and that'll get it to touch the metal. That one touching. The problem I have with all this is so this ground's so wet or dry that we gotta get water on it. It's too hard. And once you do that, goes in pretty good. Down pretty good. Maybe make sure you got your power. And then what you do. Yeah. I'm gonna take this and run it. This thing right here will flash green.
Sounds like it's working. It's flashing red. So the cost of that strip of electric I just put in, minus the charger, just bought those clips and a couple insulators. So it probably cost me around, I had the wire, but that wire will last me quite a long time. It's this stuff right here. It's a 1/4 mile on one spool, or maybe more. And I use it for a lot. I don't even use T-post clips. What do you call them? Clips. I use this stuff to hang panels and stuff. You can use this stuff. It's just as easy. And then you can get a good tight, twist it and get it tight. But altogether, it's probably $15 worth of material. If you're gonna do a large property and you're gonna use those yellow extenders, you're probably gonna want to buy a couple bags. It looks like there's a lot in one bag, but they take up a lot of space in that bag. So if you start using them, you'll see you get low. But they're pretty cheap for one bag. I think the roll of wire was $50. I'll probably keep that for years. And then the insulators and the little donuts, the donut insulators. I think the donut insulators were like $6 for a pack. I think he just got zapped, the cow. He didn't moo or nothing, but it definitely did something. But yeah, I saw another spot where these goats might have got out too earlier, the little ones. I'm gonna tighten it down because we have zip ties on them, but you can see that this wires is what's gonna save it. Zip ties are dry rot. So let's see if he probably won't come over here. He knows something's up. Bones. In June, he'll be a year old. Yep, it works. That's gonna keep him off that fence. All it takes is one time. And you guys see, like this one right here, it doesn't go in. Normally when you install a charger, an energizer, you're putting a ground rod in pretty deep. And this one's only, 6 inches, maybe 8 inches, I don't know. So it's not even going in that deep, and it gives that much of a jolt. Oh, he's gonna test it again. See, he knows. That's what you want it to do. You want him to think about it. Especially an animal this big. I mean, they're strong. They don't know their own strength. Yeah, he already knows. It's above his. Could have probably put it a little lower. I could still, but for now it's fine. He was pushing on that gate quite a bit, and that's how they're twice that they got through. So they also make these insulators or extenders that clip right on. Let me zoom out here. They clip right onto your chain link, like the square parts, not the post. So they'll actually clip right on there, and they got screws in them that help to spread them and put tension so that they're not going to just slip out. So if you got a chain link fence like I do all the way around the whole property, I could use some of this fence. And most people aren't going to use a chain link to house cattle, but you throw one strand of this wire on there, and it's gonna keep them off it. And a lot of times with these goats, they'll rub, and they lean against the fence, and they lay against it, and they rub on it, and they're marking, they're putting their odor on it, and they're just scratching and all that stuff. Even right now, these two goats over here, way over there past those rocks, can't see them, they're laying down against that fence. So for a chain link, I would actually, if anything changes and these goats start leaning on that and causing problems and making it wanting to sag and pushing it out, I'll get some of that, those insulators, and I'll run a single strand from the middle down to the bottom instead of up. That's going to keep them off that fence. And it works pretty well, and it's cheap. Electric fence is cheaper than buying a full-on steel fence or galvanized. But there it is, it works. And he was the guinea pig. Billy goat, he kind of knew something was up. As soon as I started putting stuff on the fence, he just walked off. I'm gonna secure this little hog panel that's on here that we haven't pieced together. She laid it right there. So that's 2 for today. She's probably trying to get her way she's probably on her way back to this alfalfa flake. And decided she wasn't gonna make it. It's garbage. It's cracked. They're all pretty consistent like that with the tip. So, yeah, just like every other egg. You know, if you could tell, see if I can get in here. Right there, that dot looks like a bullseye. Kind of glad this happened. See that? What that means is that the egg is fertile. So we are good to go on hatching. At least we know one of the turkeys is fertile. We have 2 toms and 4 hens. I'm guessing. I'm gonna assume that they all are fertile.